Okay. So first I want to know who knows already a little bit about the Ho'oponopono? David,
I can
Gail,
definitely say me now.
Camille, you for sure know. Um, so I guess the best way for me to really convey this, and this might be a repeat for Camille, I'm sorry about that. But so I learned the Ho'oponopono at a spiritual coaching course that I attended. And it was very powerful when we did it in the course. And I came home and like a lot of other things, I kind of said, well, that's nice, and I didn't really do much with it, right? It was just kind of there in my toolbox, but it sat there for a while. And then there was a moment. Um, and I think you all know me. We've all talked with each other, and you know that I have addiction in my family. And there was a moment with my stepson one evening where I was completely enraged. And now I can't even tell you what it was that he did. I don't remember, but I was so beyond angry that I really just did not know what to do. I wanted to get in my car and drive away, but I couldn't do that to my husband. So I thought, well, what am I going to do for myself? And then I remembered the Ho'oponopono that I had learned at this workshop. So I went upstairs and I went in my room and I closed the door and I lay down on my bed and I just began reciting the words of the prayer over and over and over like a mantra. And it was funny because the whole time I was doing it, I was a little bit like, I'd say something and in my mind, I'd be like, I don't really believe this, but I'm just going to keep doing it. Or this is probably bullshit, but I'm going to keep doing it. And I just kept saying the words over and over and over again. It took me about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And I drifted into an alpha state. I drifted into the same physiological sensations that I have when I'm in a really deep meditation. And I thought, well, this is cool. And I drifted off to sleep. And when I got up in the morning, I remembered what I was angry about, but it had no significance to me anymore. Like there was absolutely no charge. It was odd. Like I never really had that kind of a shift in that way before. So I went downstairs, and when my stepson got up and he came downstairs, we met in the kitchen, and he looked at me, and there was like, because I had no charge in me at that time, there was nothing for him to push or pull against. That's the best way that I can describe it. So the dynamic completely changed between he and I. He didn't do anything different, but I changed what was going on inside of me. And so that started my relationship with the Ho'oponopono, because that was profound to me. I really, previous to that, I've meditated and I've done a lot of different things, but previous to that, that kind of a quick shift was very new. And I was really excited about it. So now it's kind of grown for me. It's something that I use in a myriad of different ways. So sometimes if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll just start reciting the Ho'oponopono. And if nothing else, it brings me to a state of calm. Even if it doesn't shift me into sleep, it brings my anxiety and anticipation about being up down to a calm level. That's one way. Another way is, and this has been very useful the last few weeks with what's going on election wise and everything else that's going on in our country. My husband and I, we're a great pair and we have a great relationship, but we are on different pages sometimes about things. And, he wants to talk to me about his feelings and beliefs about things. And it's very difficult for me because I feel differently and I really don't want to argue with him. And so we get into this kind of state of he'll start talking and I'm like, oh my God, I just don't know what to do now because, I love him. I want to listen to him, but sometimes I just can't, right? I start reciting in my mind. He can be talking, I'm still listening to him, but in my mind, I'm reciting this Ho'oponopono over and over and over again. And what I found is that it enables me to hold a space for something that I'm really not either interested in or could be something that might charge me up a little bit. So, and I invite you after we do this little practice together today to find your way in whatever way that it could be useful for you, because I'm sure there are things I haven't thought of yet about how to utilize this prayer. So for those of you who don't or aren't familiar with the Ho'oponopono, I'm going to give you a little history and then I'll tell you what it actually is. So back in ancient times, the Hawaiian tribes, when someone in the tribe would go off somehow, i.e., like my stepson at that time, they would put that person in the middle of the circle and they would just start reciting themselves. Each tribe person would, and they would say this prayer over and over and over again until that person in the circle had a shift. Powerful stuff. I mean, they would sit for days or weeks or months holding that person in a space of Ho'oponopono. More recently, there's a doctor. His name is Dr. Hugh Lin. He's Hawaiian, and he's a psychiatrist. And he took a job working in a prison for the criminally insane. Now, these were really bad people. I mean, really, really hardened criminals and, insane criminals. And what he would do is he would take their file folder, right? He'd take this file and he would just put it down on the desk in front of him. He never saw an inmate, as the story is told. He would just sit with their file and he would run the Ho'oponopono through himself. I'm assuming projecting with this person in mind. He would just keep working on himself, bringing himself to what is now being talked about as a state of zero. So he would eliminate any charge inside of him, and energetically that would transfer to the inmate. And apparently after about a year and a half, the culture in the prison started to change. The prisoners were calmer, more kind to each other, and just generally it was an all-around better place to be. And so Hugh Lin took it upon himself to then step out into the world and teach the Ho'oponopono, along with, I'm sure you probably all have heard of Joe Vitale, right? So Joe and Hugh Lin partnered up, and Joe kind of, administrates for him while he's on the road teaching this. For me, it's more just personally, that having that ability, and this was my experience, because it really, when I did this with my stepson that night, it brought me to a state of zero. That's the best way to describe it, because there was nothing bothering me. I was clear, I was clean, like there was just nothing going on inside of me. And so what I thought we would do is a little group practice. And I've done this now several times, and it's going really well. So people are really, really digging it, liking it, and I think you will too. For those of you unfamiliar, the prayer is very simple, and it goes like this: I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me, and thank you. Now, by the way, Camille's going to share a handout that I have that'll have all this on there. So if you're worried about writing it or getting it all down on paper, don't worry, it'll all be in the handout. And the other thing that I want to just say about I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you, is when I did that course, the woman who was teaching the course expanded those statements. Now, I don't say the expanded statements. I just say the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. But the expanded statements helped me to understand and sort of take it in on a deeper level. And so how she said the phrases was, I love you as I love myself. I am sorry for your suffering. Please forgive me for any way that I may have contributed to your suffering. And thank you for allowing me to see myself through you. It's pretty beautiful. And if you think about vibrationally, you know, the meaning of words, right? And if we look at Masaru Emoto and his study of the effect of words on water, and then translating that into the effect of words on our bodies, since we are, what, 75% water? And proving that the words that we say have a vibrational frequency and they have an effect on, and we all know this. I mean, this is not news to any of us, right? So when I think about, or when I work with those words, I'm very cognizant that there is a vibrational, there's something, frequency is happening as I'm saying those words. And when I thought about that extended meaning, it helped me get to the actual Ho'oponopono, which is meant in its basic form for the self. It's not meant for forgiveness of someone else. And that's where we can get kind of tripped up, because when we think about forgiveness, we think about someone has wronged me or someone has done something to me. You know, my stepson did something and it really angered me. But when I lay down to say the prayer, it wasn't about him. It was about, and I knew that, I had that part of it. And I think that is possibly why it worked so well, so quickly, because I had that understanding that what I was doing, even though it involved him, and even though I wanted him to feel forgiveness, you know, I wanted to get to that point where I could hold him in that space. It wasn't about that. It was more about just clearing what was going on inside of me. And that is really, for me, that's at the root of it all. That we have to start with ourselves and clear whatever is going on with us if we want to have an effect on anything going on outside of ourselves. I think I'm preaching to the choir with this group of people, but you know, it really, it beckons to be said, right? To just have that reminder before we go into it, that this process that we're going to do, this practice that we're going to be doing together, it is about each of us. It's about ourselves and going in ourselves and allowing the experience of the vibrational frequency of these words and what they actually mean. So are there any questions before we get into doing any practice? Comments? Thoughts? Okay, everybody's ready to go? Yes. It's so strange, you know, being on these calls when everybody's muted, because I'm used to having, you know, interaction and the sound of people swallowing or breathing or clearing their throat. I don't know. All right, so let's get to it. What this is going to look like is I'm going to walk you through a little bit of relaxation first, and we'll get into a, you know, really nice calm state. And then I will recite the words, and I'll invite you to allow my words to merge with your thoughts. So just hear my voice as if you're thinking it at the same time. And then we'll all be sort of in a rhythm of reciting these words and reciting the Ho'oponopono together. And then I'll give you a little bit of time to do that on your own and integrate that for yourself. And then I'll bring everybody back. Sound good? Okay, so just find a comfortable position. And just start by taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on the third breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just allow your eyes to gently close. And just know for this next little while, there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nobody wants anything, nobody's demanding anything. This is just time for you right now. And I want you to imagine that just above your head is a ball of light. And in whatever way you would like to imagine that ball of light entering through the top of your head. And that this light is very calming and soothing, very comforting, relaxing. And as that ball of light moves down behind your eyes and behind your nose, just allowing yourself to have the feeling of letting go of any tension. Just relaxing, easy, gentle. And that light, which by the way can be any color you imagine it to be, that light moves down into your jaw, your neck, down through your arms, relaxing your arms, into your wrists, hands, fingertips. And that ball of light continues to move down through your chest, down through all of your internal organs, your tummy, just soothing, calming, and relaxing everything, letting go. Just a feeling that you can allow yourself to have, to be so relaxed and so carefree. And that light travels down now through your hips, down into the tops of your legs, down through the knees, into your calves, your shins, down into your feet, just soothing, calming, and relaxing all the muscles, all the nerves, everything just relaxing. And that light turns around now, the bottom of your feet, your heels, back of your ankles, traveling back up through your lower legs, through the back of your thighs. That's right. Just relaxing, letting go of everything. And that light travels up into your spine, out through all the openings in the spine, into all the muscles and the nerves in the back, just letting go of any tension. And that light continues up through the back of your neck and into your head, and back out the top of your head, spilling over through your aura, just relaxing and calming the space around you as well as all of the spaces inside of you. And I'll begin reciting the Ho'oponopono for you now. Just allow my words to merge with your thoughts. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now I'll give you a little time to just practice on your own and allow these words to integrate. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. In your own time, when you are ready, just come back into your body, back into the room. Take a breath. If you need to stretch a little bit, whatever you need to do. Yay, welcome back. I think everybody, if you want to unmute, feel free to unmute. I think we can chat a bit if you'd like, or if you have any questions or.
That was awesome again.
Thank you. I love you.
I appreciate you doing this for us as well.
It's
That's
my
really
pleasure.
great.
Hmm?
I have a really basic question.
Mm.
Am I telling myself or am I telling the person that I'm upset with, like your stepson? You're telling yourself, yeah.
I love you.
That's what I thought.
I'm sorry for my suffering. Forgive me for any way that I may have contributed to my own suffering. And thank you for allowing me to see myself. Make sense?
Yeah,
Good.
thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I remember the first time in yoga class where I said, I love you to myself, like just before Shavasana, I was like, I will never forget that. It was so transformational.
Mhm.
Like just to, like it, whew, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, for me, I used to participate in a yoga dance class, and he would do an hour of hatha yoga and then an hour of movement. And it was really whatever you felt like. There was no, he didn't do any kind of guiding or anything like that. It was just moving however you felt like moving. And he did do sometimes we would do exercises. And one of the things we did one night was he had us stand in front of the mirror. We were in a dance studio and look at ourselves, make eye contact, and just look at ourselves in that deep state of, being in that state of post yoga, moving all that stuff through the body. And that was profound for me as well. Yeah, really shifted. Anyone else? You guys are quiet.
I really had no idea what to expect because I've done no research. I did nothing. I just knew that this was something because you were doing it, quite honestly. I knew it was something I wanted to look into. So it felt really good. I'm not sure what I went into, but I went into something like not an out of body experience, but certainly an out of consciousness experience.
Good. Yeah. So, when I give this to my clients to do, and, I invite any of you, I mean, I'm no expert. It's not my work. This is something that is universal that, it's out there. So if you share it with a client, I'll say, take this handout home and I explain the whole thing, about what it means and how to do it. And I say, just do it until you feel something. Because most everyone will have some kind of a shift. Something will happen. Some people maybe not, but that's usually what I will share with my clients when I give it to them.
I just sent the handout to everybody. So if you didn't receive it, let me know, but you should have all received it.
Great. Well, thanks for playing with me.